back to an episode of Understanding Stress. I am your host Enoch, and joining me today is the wonderful Diana. Together we are diving deep into the complexities of stress and how we can navigate it in our daily lives.
Wow, thank you very much. Enoch, stress is something we have all experienced, but it's essential to understand its various forms and how they affect us. So let's just jump right in.
Medically, it's a body's reaction to perceived pressures and threats from the environment, feelings of emotional and physical tension. It's part of day-to-day living, so it's like stress is there, no matter if you like it or not, it's there.
Okay.
And it's very good for us to even first understand what are the kinds of stress or what are the types of stress. Then help us there.
Well, kinds of stress. Wow, we have like emotional stress, we have physical stress. Would you wish to know what they are?
Emotion, it's plain emotion, it's emotions which are stressed. Physical, I think physical, it's the body's reaction, as I had said, to various triggers and especially pain. You know that pain can be stressful.
And it can also be emotional.
Yeah, true.
Oh,
So
nice.
physical stress often leads to emotional stress. That's powerful.
That's right.
So imagine someone has physical and then emotion. So it's like they are brothers and sisters. They are connected. Emotional stress often occurs as physical discomfort. What you are trying to tell me that physical can also become emotional. For example, stomach cramps.
Yeah.
Okay. And I think it's more in ladies. Am I lying?
No, you're right.
You tend to get the stress.
Yes, that's right.
Okay. So this is profound. We tend to think stress as caused by external events. However, events themselves are non-stressful. What I mean is that problem you face, all that pain you feel, it's just an event. It's non-stressful, but it's how you perceive it that creates the stress itself.
Interpretations and reaction to these events make them stressful, as you said, right?
Yep.
But that different people consider different situations, what?
Yeah, stressful.
So speaking in public can be stressful in some time and relaxing for others. So have you ever experienced difficulties in speaking in public?
Yeah, everyone gets it.
How
like
did you feel?
Stage fright.
How did you feel?
Like shaking, stammering, all those things.
Wow. Stress may not necessarily be harmful, right?
Yep.
Okay. Then mild forms of stress can act as motivators or energizers.
Really?
Yeah.
So you mean some kinds of stress can become motivators for people?
Exactly.
Okay, that's nice.
Too much high level of stress can lead to medical and social problems.
Nah, this is common. We all know that. Most times we see people who come and they say, I am sick, I have fever, but I have fatigue, but it's just stress. Very
exactly.
true.
So which means that at that point the level of stress is very high.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think we can look at, as we talk about those things, you asked me especially if I ever got stage fright and how I feel. I think we can dive into the signs and symptoms of stress. And
exactly.
One thing I do know about it, sorry for cutting you short there, are mostly categorized into how we feel. Remember we said emotions, our thoughts, how we behave, and our physiology. Physiology is how the body perceives the stress.
Yeah.
So feelings, yes. How do we interpret stress through our feelings?
When you have stress, how you feel at that time.
Yeah, very true.
You're anxious.
Okay.
And then you get scared.
Okay.
You become irritated with everything around you. I come to talk to you, you feel like, excuse me. And something small, you make it look big and you're always too moody.
Yeah, moody. Very true.
That's what I can say about in the feelings.
Yeah. And via thoughts, we tend to exhibit low self-esteem.
Okay.
There's fear of failure. Okay.
Exactly.
Like you're always afraid that I'm not good enough, I'm not what. It's really stressful.
Like
all stress that is causing you to get to that point.
Yeah.
Inability to concentrate.
Wow.
Yeah. So if you're actually stressed, for example, you have deadlines, you tend to stumble on many things. You don't concentrate about what you're doing. Worrying about the future. Okay. A person who's stressed, there are those thoughts that keep coming. How will my tomorrow look like?
The world is coming to an end.
It comes back to anxiety. You are more of anxious.
Yeah.
And behavior wise.
Behavior-wise, shutting
Okay.
others' speech difficulties. You get? Like you fail to talk. Yes, you're talking, but in your mind you're shouting, but in the public we can't hear your voice.
So
Okay?
I think that's like also when you're doing stage, it's like stage fright. You
Yeah,
start
yeah,
to
yeah, yeah.
like you're screaming in your head, but outside you are like nothing.
And then at some moment you just find yourself crying with no reason.
Women.
No, 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 I don't believe
Maybe
in
don't
that one.
cry.
Come
Maybe don't
on.
cry. Okay.
There is
it's fine.
acting impulsively.
Very
You
true.
become so aggressive.
Very true.
Then there
Simple
is
things you just shout at people.
exactly.
I know. Very
There
true.
is stuttering easily. You sometimes you find you're stammering when
Yeah.
you're not a stammerer.
Yeah.
You get?
Yeah.
Others laugh so loudly with a high pitch.
Nervous tone for it's called a nervous tone. That's
Of
a
voice.
women. Emotional beings.
Yeah, some people you find them grinding their teeth. You get? If somebody used not to smoke or will start smoking, they increase.
Wow.
You find they over smoke.
I think those are bad coping mechanisms.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Then there is increasing use of drugs and alcohol.
Yeah.
You find somebody goes and drinks a lot in the bar.
Actually, even while at that, some of them become accident prone. Accident prone, like for example, we do watch a lot of movies.
Exactly.
You find some guy is going to dare the world. He's climbing Mountain Everest without a rope or the gates, stuff like that. And this is very profound. Actually, I want to know where you lie, losing your appetite or overeating. When you are stressed, what most comes to you in? Do you eat a lot or do you lose your appetite?
I take both. Depends on the level of the stress.
It is two ways. Either you eat a lot or you are hungry. Stop playing on our mind here.
I do both.
There's no answer for both. Anyway, it's very true. Stress, there's what we call stress eating.
Okay.
People can overeat, others literally they lose eating. Just like in depression, someone does not want to eat. Yeah, physiologically. Now this is where I say the body's reaction, and I would really want to expound on this because I've been here before.
I really want to know how you experienced it.
First and foremost, paint a picture. First time standing in an audience of people you treasure, all people you respect, and you have to deliver an information.
Okay.
From experience, sweaty hands
Wow.
or sweaty palms. You become too sweaty.
Okay.
There's an increase in the heartbeat. Your heart is
Like
actually you can even feel your heart. A friend of ours recently was in a wedding. He said he saw a girl and the heart was booming. That wasn't stress.
I thought that was stress.
That wasn't stress. Those are just hormones.
Okay.
There's trembling, like you are really shaking. Okay. There's a nervous tics. Nervous tics is like you start making funny movements which are not.
Yeah.
They make you look like you are not confident enough. Okay. Dryness of throat and the mouth. You feel like you want to swallow a lot of saliva. Others keep asking more water. Okay. There is tearing easily. I think this is more of girls. Like you can easily cry if people don't give you a positive response.
Of course, every lady wants a positive response. Yes.
But this one, I think you fall there. Urinating frequently.
No. This is not right. But yes, you get into urinating frequently,
Actually,
and some people get sleep problem.
And when you are still on urinating, it comes also the other ends. People get diarrhea, or they get butterfly stomachs. Like stomach. This is good when you're going exams. You know the stress for exams.
Yes.
Exam stress. Butterflies. You are having diarrhea. You want to vomit.
Wow.
Yeah, and others get headaches.
Yeah, you're right.
Like you get a headache that you don't understand. You just feel it's there. It's aching. It's not going. And we have pains in the neck and the lower back. We still also have people losing appetite and overeating. This is all the body's reaction, okay?
And for my ladies, they always go to premenstrual tension.
Nah, those ones are yours. You understand them better. Actually, they come, I think, with the mood swings.
Yes. Mood swing, irritability. They lose interest in their environment.
Remember, as you said, pain can go to emotional stress. So imagine that pain, that physical stress becomes an emotional stress. And very true, the last one we spoke about it, they are easily prone to getting illnesses.
Wow.
For example, if you're not even eating well, you can easily fall sick. Now, while we are still here, wanted to bring this back home. Yes. Stress has a cycle, okay? Wow. As we said, remember we began and said stress is part of our day-to-day living. It's there, we deal with it. It has a cycle. So we want to appreciate the cycle. I did a little bit of research And just imagine it has 4 segments. On the
Yeah.
topper part, we have perceptions. Okay, let's begin. When you are faced with a stressor, okay, something that stresses you, maybe you have deadlines or you have like a huge chunk of exams to mark and you have to deliver, you have to do appraisals to some of us here. You get? It's too much, so it's a stressor. But now what makes it a stress to you is how you perceive it. If your mind perceives it as it's a hard thing for you, it becomes a stress, and the body will respond in 2 ways: physically or psychologically. Okay? Psychologically is very interesting. We have the stress response whereby we have all those feelings, the thoughts coming in, okay? And it burdens you. So you have fears of futures and everything. And remember when we said in the behavior, some start smoking and what?
And drinking.
From how the body responds, we get into coping. Okay? So you can either cope positively or cope negatively. And the cycle goes back again to the stressor. So it's a continuation, just like that. But something was profound in the physical manifestation. We have, in medical term, we have what we call fight and flight response.
Wow.
Dr. Diana, help us there. What is a fight and flight response?
The fight and flight response is how your body responds to certain situations that you're faced with at that moment. So how does this come about? Our body tends to produce some juice called adrenaline. Okay? So when this adrenaline is released, at that moment, the body releases some juice called adrenaline. And from there, you start feeling the increased heartbeat, your hands start getting sweaty, and your blood pressure will also rise. And that is the time where you face somebody, you're very ready to run away from a problem. And you're very ready to face the problem.
All fight it. Exactly. I know it. So it's the fight and flight response. True? It's that juice that comes in. Now, on the perception, imagine with me this, okay? We have a glass, right? Okay. We fill it with water halfway. Now, my question is this. Is the glass half full or half empty?
Wow. The glass is half empty.
Are you sure? What about half full? Because I filled it to half.
It all depends how you perceive the stress.
So that's a perception that we do have. A situation can be stressful or not. It all depends on your perception of the event, just like how you look at that glass. Okay? A response to stress can be effective or not. It depends on your resources and coping strategies.
Okay.
So at that being said, what can we say are the causes of stress? I know we know some, but we also took an initiative to find out what are some common grounds that can cause stress. So we divided them into major life changes that can be stressful, and also environmental events that can be stressful. So take us on the major life changes that can be stressful.
Wow. To begin with the major life changes that can be stressful, there are really so many, because these are our daily life changes, right? Like meeting academic demands. Like for my teachers, there are so many. There's so many who are going through
appraisal.
You have to set exams, make sure that you finished your
new curriculum.
I
know, research.
For us who want to go back to school, there is going to college. It's so stressful because it's worse when you've been working. You feel like, how am I going to support myself?
Looking for the money.
It's not easy.
And all the responsibilities.
And then when they transfer you from your workplace or from wherever you are to a new place, it is very stressful because it takes time for you to adjust to the new environment, right?
True.
Then marriage is another one.
How can marriage be stressful?
Come on!
People.
Marriage is not just a bed of roses. It's very stressful. I believe so. I haven't been there.
I hope you're not scaring us single people.
I am not scaring you, but I believe so. Because a lot of married people, when I meet them, they have a lot of stress going on within their marriage.
I want to ask here what stress
I really don't know.
But it's okay.
There's also pregnancy.
Now, marriage and also pregnancy.
Yeah.
So you have double stress.
Yes, pregnancy. Why you have the stress? It's because your body goes through some physiological changes. You're not your normal self.
Now that makes sense.
You start selecting what food should I eat. I don't want to see him. I don't want to smell anything about him.
Typical women.
But this is the person you love, is your partner. But
Yeah,
pregnancy has given you the stress not to be near them. You get how stressful it is? New job.
How can a new job be stressful? I thought you are happy that you're getting a new job, right?
Yeah, there is a positive stress of being happy, but there is also a stress of you going to start getting used to that new job.
Oh, so it's fear of the unknown, right?
Exactly, as you really explained it before.
Very true.
There's divorce.
That one I know is stressful.
Wow.
People walk talking to themselves. I know.
Yeah.
Sorry for laughing about that, but yeah, it's very true.
And then one most painful one is death of a loved one.
True.
It's really so pricking.
We have all been there. It's really stressful.
And then being fired from a job.
This one is stress.
Because it's not easy.
It also goes back to fear of the unknown.
Exactly.
Where are you going to go? What are you going to do? What next? All the responsibilities.
And then something that I can talk about more on major life changes, there's developing friendships.
Wait, no.
Yeah.
I don't feel like developing friendship should be among the stresses, because it's just go out, talk to a person, become friends.
I know, that's how we would think about, but trust me, making a new friendship is not easy.
Those are introverts who have hard time and call it stress.
Come on!
Are you sure?
Even extroverts get it very hard to get used to those people.
I'm learning something.
Yeah. So as you said before, that we have major life changes and environmental events which are stressful.
On the environmental events that can be stressful, this is what we found out. Time pressures.
Yeah.
You know how you can be time bad, maybe. Especially I relate this on our appraisals and time and deadlines. You have to submit, someone is on your neck. If you do not submit this, the job is going.
Because you need to be confirmed.
So it becomes stressful.
Yeah.
Competition, okay? Some of us cannot understand it, but sometimes, especially to the teaching fraternity, you find that your school has to perform better than the other school outside. So you have to look for the content, you have to always be on the game, so it's a bit stressful. Really so stressful. And financial problems.
Talk about that one.
Those ones, definitely. We all know that they are stressors. Make it or not. You have responsibilities. Sometimes the money is not enough, or it's going in many places.
When my salary got delayed, I remember when the car was too full. Everybody wanting to go to town.
I know, very true. Do you know that noise can also be stressful?
Yeah.
For example, and next to bars, you find a person's always irritable. As you said, some of the signs of stress. You can't have enough rest or sleep, so it tends to also become stressful to you. Disappointments. Now,
Tell me something about that.
Disappointments comes in many shapes.
Tell me the one.
Financial.
Leave alone financial.
Your relationship was yes, that one. When that guy or that madam does not respond in the way you expect, so it can also be stressful.
Sure.
Okay. So yeah. Now, knowing all this, in the medical world, we assess stress depending on some standards or categories.
Yeah.
And one of them is attitude.
Yes.
Okay. Do you have something else about attitude?
A person's attitude can influence whether or not a situation or emotion is stressful. Why do I say like that? When I come and I talk to you and you reply to me in a shouting manner, means I get to know your attitude through your voice to me.
Yeah.
I'll get to know Enoch is what? Stressed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, negative attitudes will often report more stress than those with positive attitudes.
Thank you.
People who always visualize things to be troublesome or have a negative perspective about things tend to always be stressed, and people who have a positive attitude about life. Yeah. I believe it comes back to faith, being hopeful.
You're right.
Okay. Being hopeful, there's a way you are not always so much on tension or stress. Yeah, physical well-being. Now, this is very interesting. Medically, we believe that stress alone is what you perceive, but also your body has to be in the right place.
Sure.
So a poor diet puts your body in a state of physical stress and weakens the immune system. More people who are mostly not feeding well, they're more likely to get infections. And those who have unhealthy food choices are not eating enough or are not even having enough sleep.
Can I ask you something? Sometimes when I eat lunch, I don't eat enough and I'm not really full. So does it mean I'm going to be
But how many meals do you eat a day?
stressed? I eat 1.5 or twice.
Trust, that's enough. You want to double plate at lunchtime, you lady.
See, when you talked of not eating enough, I thought like when I eat lunch and I'm not full, that's not eating enough.
What I really meant is, there are some families that survive on 1 meal a day.
Okay.
You tend to find the kids, all the people in that family, they are not having enough, and they're always prone to being stressed. That's where I came from.
Okay.
Yeah, so the body will lack those nutrients, and you will tend to always be in that position. So this is a physical stress, okay? This poor diet is a physical stress.
Okay.
It decreases your ability to deal with emotional stress. Not getting right nutrition affects the brain's processing information.
Wow.
So you understand, if you're not having enough nutrients, even though you perceive is impaired. Okay? Yeah, so basically that's what the physical well-being does. Then physical activities.
Okay.
Yes, I think you have a better stand on that.
Wow. And the physical activity, not getting enough physical activity can put the body in a stressful state. Okay? Physical activity has many benefits in our bodies.
Okay.
Right? When you do regular activity programs, it will help you decrease on depression.
True.
Okay? Because your mind gets preoccupied with some other things to do.
So actually you are more of diverting your thoughts to something that is productive.
It will improve how you're feeling of your well-being, okay?
Yeah.
Then under support system, everyone needs someone in their life they can rely on when they are having a hard time.
So we all need a support system.
We need a support system.
Okay, so we base also on a support system for that.
Yes.
And on top of that, relaxation.
Yes.
So relaxation is very beautiful. How do you get to relax? As a person, as a teacher, as a doctor, as a pastor, as a medic.
Exactly.
So people without side interests, all what we call hobbies, always to relax, may be unable to handle stressful situations because they have no outlet of their stress.
Wow.
So that relaxation point you do, it helps to relieve stress. It's a way of channeling all those thoughts, channeling all those feelings out of you.
Okay.
Yes. All this to put it together and wrap it before we go to the main meat of stress management. All this is what we call what determines stress. And we can categorize it into your personality as an individual. Your personality as an individual is very key.
Yes.
Personal expectations, okay? Control over a situation. Human beings, we want to always be in control.
Yes.
The amount of responsibility one has and the information a person has. All of them can better put a person in a good place on how to manage stress. So, when we are managing stress, we have goals, okay? And those goals for stress management come in this way. We do not want to eliminate all the stress, but we want to use some of it as a motivator for peak performance.
Wow.
Okay? Remember when we began and said some mild stress can be a motivator to some people, okay?
Yes.
We also, while we are doing that, we are being careful to eliminate harmful effects, okay? Like taking alcohol, smoking, channeling, coping in a negative way. So stress can be useful for stimulating and also welcoming. So stress management, yes, take us on that. What do you advise someone there on how to manage their stress?
This is the meat of everything now, okay? For everyone who experiences stress, it's normal. Normal does not mean healthy or inevitable.
Very true.
Okay?
Very true.
Everyone can learn to eliminate stress.
Are you sure? So we just learn how to.
Yes.
So it's not like someone's talented to do it.
No,
we all learn.
We learn and cope up with it.
Yeah.
So it doesn't mean elimination of pressure in life. Okay.
I thought you are eliminating the pressure. So you can learn to deal with the stress.
Yes.
But does not mean that the pressures will go away out
Exactly.
of life. Very true. That's why we have the stress cycle. Now this comes to play. Good.
Exactly. Pressures will persist. Okay. And then the examples of the pressures like bills, you need to pay bills, hours in a day, which will never be added.
True.
Okay.
24 hours are all we get. You can't get 26 hours.
Then the career.
Appraisal can give you 30 hours. You are joking.
No. Then career or family responsibilities are always demanding.
Yeah.
Okay. Those are some few pressures that I can give you an example.
True.
Okay. Then being in control of someone's life is a foundation of stress management.
So you mean the foundation that we base on to manage our stress is we have to be in control of our lives?
Exactly.
Wow.
Be in control of what you let in and what you let out of
So
yourself.
actually, now I can put the ultimate goal is a balanced life with time for work,
yes,
relationship, relaxation, and fun, resilience to hold up under pressures and meeting challenges. That's how we can have control of our lives.
Exactly.
Very true. So okay, so to identify the sources of stress is not easy. Okay, and that's what we can say.
The true sources of stress are not obvious, by the way.
Yeah.
Do you know that?
Very true. So actually, so that leads us to always be on the lookout for stress-inducing thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. It's like we have to always be on the lookout for those stressful signs.
Exactly.
Okay. And one of the easiest ways that I found out is starting a journal.
Wow.
Okay, a stress journal. It's called a stress journal. You know, weights are good.
Do
you have a stress journal?
No, I don't have.
I even didn't even have a mere journal. You son of Africa.
I don't have.
You daughter of Africa. Anyway, so a stress journal, it helps us keep track of regular stressors in life and the way we deal with them. So what you can write in a stress journal, what caused you stress?
Okay.
How you felt, both physically and emotionally. How you acted in response. What you did to make yourself feel better. Someone asked me, why do you do all this? Okay? Why do I have to rate how I acted in response? This helps us to actually monitor our coping strategies. Okay?
Yes.
Healthy journals identify coping strategies. Coping strategies may be healthy or unhealthy. They can be helpful or non-productive. Okay? Some of them are useless. Very useless. Okay? I'm sorry for saying that, but yeah, some of them are not. So we can look at them actually. What are those unhealthy ways of coping with stress?
Yes. So those ways are very many, which temporarily reduce the stress but cause more damage in long term.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. So some of us, when you get stressed, someone will resort into smoking.
Yeah.
In order to make them forget of
But do people still smoke nowadays?
Yeah.
I thought those are gone cases.
No, they're there outside.
Yeah, very true. Good, we have a lot of people
There's
smoke.
drinking, okay?
Drinking water!
Drinking alcohol.
Oh, yeah.
Others take their stress to alcohol and they feel like taking it makes them what?
Actually, some drunkards say when I drink, I forget the world issues. But unfortunately, someone says when you come back, you meet your issues.
You meet them where you left
and
them.
then I go back again and drink.
You actually remind me, like yesterday when I went out to the market, I met someone and the person had said, the person was coming back, moving the opposite direction where I'm from. So as she was going, she was like, you're going for a walk? I'm like, yes. And then she's like, I have been very free and I was enjoying my life, but I left my stress coat at the gate. Now I'm going to wear it and continue where I left it from.
Meaning coming back to school is stressful. I know.
So other people, how they cope up with it is by overeating or undereating.
Yeah,
totally
stress eating, it's real.
Yeah. Others withdraw from friends and families or
Yeah.
activities that they used to love doing. Others use stressful relaxation pills.
Drugs.
Yeah, you find some even medics. You find someone like there is an experience. There was a doctor who could say if she's going to sleep, she doesn't sleep. So what she does, she takes diazepam to keep her to rest.
Talking about me.
No. Then another thing is others sleep too much.
That's a bad coping mechanism, really.
Others sleep
Yeah,
too much.
Yeah.
Then filling up every minute of the day to avoid facing problems.
That is
like
like
they
you
keep
give a lot
themselves
of
so
excuses.
busy.
Yeah, you give yourself excuses.
So taking out your stress on others will start lashing out on you.
Yeah,
And
the angry outbursts.
Exactly.
Physical violence. Some people
Mostly this happens to mothers. You find mostly the married, somebody has gotten a stress from the partner.
They fought in the night.
The kids will
Kid
suffer.
comes and says, I want bread.
They
You have a
slap you.
stone. Actually, there's also something you missed out.
Okay.
Zoning out for hours in front of our TVs or our phones. Some of us, we can even be in public places and we'll be on TikTok.
Yes, you're very right.
It's stress.
I like TikTok, but I'm not stressed.
It relieves stress, but it's a bad coping mechanism. If you overdo it, it's really bad. It interferes with your work, interferes with your scheduling all the time. Remember, we said you only receive 24
hours in a day.
Non 26, non 27. Okay?
You're right.
Procrastinating. Others keep postponing. Some of us, we have assignments. For example, I would say if you have maybe you're supposed to mark like 50 papers, and you keep saying, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it tomorrow.
Postponing.
It's a bad way to cope with stress. You're just keeping the stress for the next time, you're not solving it. And while we say that, so the health ways we can manage stress, I found out there's an acronym. It's the 4 A's. It says avoid, alter, adapt, and accept. We are going to dive into this. How does this come in play? When we are using this, we are going to look in what we call stress management strategies. One of it, the first one, is avoid unnecessary stress. How do we avoid unnecessary stress? Learn how to say no. Sometimes we say yes and we accumulate a lot of burden on ourselves, yet we're not supposed to have that burden. Avoid people who stress you out. Okay.
So if I avoid people who stress me out, will I not be creating enmity?
No, it's not that.
Sure.
Peace of mind is paramount.
Sure.
There are people you can actually it's not blocking out. It's not like literally cutting them off, but it's just blocking them out. I don't mean that if your stress is stressing you out, block him, you will lose your job. So take control of your environment.
Does this mean like if my boss is stressing me or if my team leader is stressing me, I should block them out?
It comes from a point of I am with you, but I will not take it at heart.
Sure.
You get?
So which means I should just keep ignoring everything they keep telling me.
If you bring it in a perspective of ignoring, as long as it's avoiding people who stress you out.
But it will stress me back on my job.
Wow.
Okay.
Take control of your environment, okay? For example, the easiest way I can relate with this, when you get to your work, arrange your desk the way you want it.
Yeah.
Actually, someone said the first very thing to do as an achievement in a day is laying your bed. If you lay your bed, it makes a step for you throughout the day, knowing that you have achieved the basic activity of a day. You will know that you'll achieve more of them. It's small little things.
So it all starts right in from the morning in my bed.
Yeah. So that's taking control of your environment. Okay. Write down a to-do list. Okay. A to-do list will help us to better know what points I have to achieve within a day. That is avoiding unnecessary stress. So if I have my to-do list and it's supposed to do 10 things in a day, if you bring in what is not on the list and it's not priority, I don't add it on. Okay. I'm avoiding unnecessary stress. The second one is alter the situation. Okay. Now you have got the stress, you are in the stress. We want to just find a way to deal with it. Express your feelings instead of bottling them up. Most of the people that's why we said you have to have a support system where you vent, okay? Where you pour out your heart and they're non-judgmental. They take it all in.
There is a situation in the world now, out there, which says, okay, before it used to be problem shared is half solved, right?
Yeah.
But nowadays problem shared
is rumor monger.
Okay.
That's why I said get a support system you trust.
So, which means you really need to get a friend that you can easily pour out your heart and be non-judgmental to you.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, that's sweet.
I pour out my pillow. Be willing to compromise.
Okay.
Okay, be willing to compromise. Okay. Some situations where you really have to do the needful. Either you will lose a friend, but if it's for the peace of mind, just compromise for it.
Wow.
Be more assertive. It's more of take control of your environment. Like if it's a no, it's a no. Be a person who is known that when he says no, it means to no. Okay, not what the world tells us. A woman is no is a yes.
Well, that's bad.
Manage your time better.
Yeah,
time management is very important. Okay. Third one, adapt to the stressor. Okay. I have avoided, maybe it has failed. I have altered the situation. It's still pending. So now adapt to the stressor. So how we adapt to the stressor? Look at the big picture. What's the big picture? Is it going to kill you? Is it going to take anything away from you? No. If it's not going to do that, adjust your standards.
Wow.
Financially, you were speaking about financial stress.
Yeah.
Sometimes we are living outside our incomes.
Yeah.
But you can adjust and live within your income so that you don't be stressed. Focus on the positives. Okay? Always be positive. Remember when you said positive attitudes don't mostly face stress situations. Adjust your attitudes. Okay?
Yeah, you're right.
Lastly, but not least, second last, accept the things you can't change.
Wow.
Remember, we have avoided it. We have altered the situation. We have adapted to the stressor. Now we accept the things we cannot change. How do we do that? Don't try to control the uncontrollable.
Wow.
Okay?
You just need to accept it the way it is.
Let God work His way out. Share your feelings. That still comes back to your support system.
Okay.
And learn to forgive.
Wow.
Some of our stress is because we are non-forgiving. We are holding grudges on people, holding grudges on situations. You're holding grudges on that ex. Moreover, you're calling him my ex.
It's
Who's your ex? the man is there, the woman is there. My ex. Learn to forgive.
Yeah.
The last strategy is make time for fun and relaxation. This does not fall in the 4 A's, but an addition. Okay. As remember, we always emphasize finding ways of venting your stress, and that is relaxation. So I know you are good in this because I mostly see you do this a lot. Walk us through, how do you make healthy ways of relaxing and recharging?
Wow, this is so beautiful, Enoch. How I really do is most times I go for a walk.
Wow.
When you change your environment, you feel a little bit relaxed. Okay. I can call a friend and I'd be on phone. He tells me every kind of jokes and laughter.
Rugambo.
Not Rugambo. The more you do Rugambo, the more stress you're making.
Okay.
You get? You talk of some other. Me, I like calling my daughter. Okay. And when she talks, I feel good.
Wow.
I find the stress has gone. Then sweat out tension with good workouts. This is more on I would really emphasize on this. When you come for workouts, you come for your gym, you feel go back relaxed. You sleep like a baby. You forget about your stress. As you said about the writing down in your journal, what stresses you, what brought the stress, it helps you to get relieved of the tension.
Actually, I also do journals. I mostly write how the day has gone. Sometimes I write the achievements. And at the end of the month, you look and you'll be like, do you know the month has been fruitful? Yeah. I did something.
Actually, you see, it changes your mind from thinking negatively
it gives
to
you a
the
positive attitude. True.
Then there is long-term bath. Take a long bath.
Those are for whites.
Come on, do it.
All women taking long baths with our setting of a basin, and you have to bend and pour on yourself. Those are for whites.
Okay, you can take a warm cup of coffee or tea.
Okay.
It helps you to relax your mind.
Okay.
Or play with your pets. For us, we don't play with pets. We play with our children. Children.
Go and play with your cows. I'm joking.
Then you can go work in your garden. You know, it's rainy rainy season.
Yeah.
Take time off and
And
go to that garden.
I've seen some people do that. It's really beautiful when you create something.
Exactly. Then for some people who really want to go far away, they can go for a massage. Can go and do massage spa. And then curl up with a good book. Okay? You can read a nice story. I remember we used to read Romeo and Juliet. It was nice. You be in the book, you be in the story, you be the Juliet or the Romeo.
Yeah, I'm reading 66 books. I have Genesis, I have Exodus.
Exactly.
I'm joking.
Any that makes you feel relaxed.
True.
Then you can listen to soft music. Others do go for loud music.
Yeah.
You get? Like when I'm stressed, I wouldn't wish to go for soft music. Makes me more depressed.
So you go for loud.
I go for loud music. Makes me get out of my chameleon. I be there. I swing out my wings.
Bad girl vibes.
Sometimes I go on and watch comedies.
Actually, I love this. I do a lot of comedies.
Comedies are
I
nice.
do a lot of comedies. There's a way that you just laugh it out. You laugh it out and tend to forget your problems. And all this said, just to bring this back home, I will emphasize exercises.
Yeah.
Get a hobby.
Okay.
Meditations. Okay.
Yes.
breathing exercises,
Wow,
deep
that's
breathings,
nice.
especially
The
when
yogas.
you're in moments of stress and you can't hold it in. Take a moment, just breathe in, breathe out. It tends to work better.
Wow.
It's relaxing, okay? We have spas, you spoke about massages,
Yes.
spending time with nature. Those when we do walks, okay?
Yeah.
If you have money like weight, you can buy a stress ball, man. Those are weight things.
You end up squeezing the ball and it bursts.
Yeah, so ideally that's all we got today.
Yeah.
But all in all, never forget time management is very good discipline.
Yeah.
When we manage our time,
Okay.
it deals with a lot of stress that we tend to face. I know the audience today that we are having, one of the biggest thing or one of the biggest root cause of the stress is how we manage the
Our
time.
time.
So
Exactly.
sit down and find what works best for you. I may not have the A, B, C, D criteria, but I know when you take time and sit down, you can really find a way of things working for you, and always have time for relaxation, have time for all these other activities that will help you go through stress.
Speaking of which, Enoch, I've learned one thing, however much time management contribute like 99% of stress.
Yeah.
I've learned one thing, like if you really have a busy schedule, your time is fixed up, never forget to fix your relaxation time in your timetable. Because it really helps you a lot.
Very true.
Yeah.
Yes, so thank you very much for sticking in sticking on and listening to all this long conversation between Enoch and Diana. I hope you learned something. Diana, any last words to the listeners?
Oh, nothing much more. I would be very happy when they really comply to it, and I'll be happy to get positive feedbacks.
True.
Thank you so much.
We love you. That has been all about today. Understanding stress. Thank you for listening in. Be blessed and may God be with you. Don't forget Colossians 3:23.
Okay.
Bye.